Yo, what's going on? It's Fuego here, and today, as you guys wanted to see, I am bringing you guys the Cannoneer guide. Now, the Cannoneer was the second released tower troop in the game after the Princess Tower, and it's super strong, especially in the right deck. Now, my first tip here for using the Cannoneer is deck creation. Before you even enter the match, you need to have a deck that synergizes with the Cannoneer, or you can get completely rolled. You can just completely lose the game just for having a deck that doesn't work with the Cannoneer, right? So how do you build a deck for the Cannoneer, you might ask? Well, the way you do that is you start off with a splash support unit. It's super huge in Cannoneer decks. You need to have, like, for example, this deck here is running the Wizard. The Wizard is super strong, has great splash damage. Another example would be like a Mother Witch, which doesn't have splash damage, but is a great swarm counter. Or like a Baby Dragon, Ice Wiz, something of the sort there. And then secondly, you also want to have great spells. So you want to have like either a Log or a Void or a Bar Barrel or arrows or just something that can deal with Swarm, because you really need to be able to counter some Swarm if you want to be a good Cannoneer deck, right? So another underrated aspect of Cannoneer decks is actually the Spirit. Electro Spirit is so strong against swarms, guys. It's so strong. Please don't underestimate it. Electro Spirit can completely take out bats, which otherwise could basically take your tower against the Cannoneer. The Cannoneer also has no grace, guys. You have to play good defense whenever you're playing the Cannoneer. You got to make sure you defend. If there's more than 3 of a card, you probably got to defend it. That's like the rule of thumb right there. More than 3 cards, you probably, like, they have more than 3 units on the board, you probably got to defend. So can't really just ignore it the way you might with a Princess Tower. So now you might be thinking, what's the pro of the Cannoneer? Why would I run the Cannoneer over the Princess Tower anyway? Like, it has less health, which it does. It does have less health, which you got to be careful of. But also, the more important in the strength of the Cannoneer is the fact that it actually does more DPS than the Princess Tower. Now, this means that against single units, the Cannoneer will do way more damage over time than the Princess Tower would, which is very important to know, right? So if you're going up against a win condition such as a Giant or a Golem or a Royal Giant or Elixir, or not Elixir Golem, I guess, but more so like a Goblin Giant or Giant Skeleton, then you're going to be so much better off with the Cannoneer than you would be with a Princess Tower. So just keep that in mind. It does have its strength, it does have its weaknesses. And also, my third tip would be analyzing the matchup, right? Like in this matchup right here, I know he has the bats, and he's already played the bats at the bridge a few times, and it's honestly a good play from him, right? Like, I'm running the Cannoneer. It is simply just a good play. So, but I need to be aware of it. I need to be aware that he has a bats, he has a swarm unit. I got to make sure I'm playing around that the best I can. So I'm going to try and go in and finish off this match here. Yeah, he doesn't get the cannon down in time. Royal Giant goes on tower. He does get the Ice Spirit off, though, to freeze. So I see these bats coming down. I have to Wizard, guys. I just, sometimes it doesn't feel right. You know, sometimes playing a Wizard on bats doesn't feel normal, but sometimes it's just a play you got to make. And with Cannoneer, it's a completely different game. You just got to know what plays you have to make and what plays you don't. And a lot of times, like I said, guys, Cannoneer does not give you grace. You have to defend. You have to defend. But whenever you're defending a big beatdown push, it's going to be so much easier with the Cannoneer, and those are going to be the matchups that helps you in. And that's the end of the first match there, guys. We just got him with the little Royal Giant deck. I'll catch you guys in the next match with a nice Recruits deck. Another strategy I like to run with the Cannoneer is the double spell strategy. Double small spells are super strong with Cannoneer because if they have multiple swarm units, you're still able to deal with them. And then if they have the big tank, as I mentioned earlier, then you just have an obvious advantage because the Cannoneer is super strong against those tanks. So just keep that in mind. It's really just about knowing what the Cannoneer is strong against and what it's not. And whenever it's not strong against it, you got to remember you do have cards to deal with it, right? You do have the answers to deal with those cards. So you just gotta, as long as you watch your cycle, keep your splash units and your splash spells in cycle whenever they have their swarms. Now, you might be thinking, what about at the beginning of a match? Like, you don't know what your opponent is running right in the beginning of the match, especially if they're playing an off-meta deck. So then I think you should play safe. I don't think you should necessarily go with spells on tower, because then that makes the spell 4 cards off cycle, and sometimes it's just not a great position to be in if you're playing like Royal Recruits bait or LogBait, any bait deck of the sort. And this guy is actually running the Graveyard here, which Graveyard is super strong against Cannoneer, guys, but I'm just going to go for my double spell. I feel like that's the best defense I could have done there, especially with my hand. However, now we know that he's running Graveyard, right? So as long as I'm paying attention and I know that he's running Graveyard, I'll keep my Mother Witch in Cycle, I'll keep my spells in Cycle, and I know that Bomber is pretty good against the Graveyard as well. So as long as I keep all those things in mind and I keep a few of those in my hand at the same time, I should be good here, guys. So it's looking like he's playing Splash Yard with the Bomb Tower variant. Very interesting. The Bomb Tower is going to get good value against my Royal Recruits, unfortunately, but I think we can live with it nonetheless. Fisherman's going to get some decent value here. I'll take that. So I'm tempted to Mother Witch. He uses poison, so I think I will Mother Witch now. I wasn't going to play it if he didn't poison, but now that he did, I feel fine. He goes for the Tornado. That's a pretty good play. I'll go Ram Rider, help chip down that Baby Dragon as well. Force out the Bomb Tower. I'm fine with that. Well, I can live with that. He goes in for his Graveyard here, so I'm going to go for Evo Bomber. Evo Bomber is pretty good at Graveyard defense. I still do need a Rage, though. I just really don't want to take that damage. Perfect. All right, we only take like 400 damage there. Not too bad. I'm going to start with my Recruits to back. One thing I've noticed in this matchup, though, is that his Baby Dragon is really, really annoying for me. For some reason, I just don't have another air card in the deck, and if he's able to kill my Mother Witch, then it's just honestly a pain. Let's see, can the Cannoneer take that out? No, the Cannoneer does not take out the Bar Barrel in time. That's super unfortunate. He's getting some good defenses off here, which is kind of frustrating, but we should be able to build up a big push here in a second. We see the Baby Dragon come down again. Man, this card is... The Baby Dragon is pretty annoying. I'm going to try and block the bridge here. All right, we do block the bridge. Love to see that. I'm going to go for my Mother Witch as well. He poisoned too early, so I'm going to get a ton of Mother Witch Hogs here. Love to see that. Hold on, that was a very bad poison. We might have something here. He Bar Barrels on the right as well. He goes for a Tornado. Okay. I'm going to just Cannon Cart on the right. I might go for some dual lane pressure here, potentially. We do force out the Bomb Tower. Pretty nice. I'm going to go Ram Rider as well. And then I do have my arrows, too, that I could use. I think I will arrows. What is he going to do? He lets the Ram Rider connect. We do get a shot from the Ram Rider. Pretty nice. And it's also nice that we have the option of going opposite lane now. So I'll definitely take that. I'll go Recruits the back. We'll see what this guy wants to do. He'll probably go Baby Dragon the back just because Baby Dragon's annoying. No, he goes for the poison. All right, interesting. I think I'm going to try and attack the right here if I can. I'll go for my Cannon Cart, and I might go Ram Rider as well. We'll see what he's planning on playing here. I could get off a pretty nice Fisherman on defense here. I'm going to go for a Rage as well. Love to see that. Yeah, Fisherman's going to kill the Ice Wiz, and Baby Dragon should die to the tower. All right, the Cannon Cart is tanking for the Recruits there. We get 2 Recruits dashes. Perfect. I'll take that for sure. I'm going to go Recruits again. I feel like Recruits the back is a pretty solid play. I can block the bridge if he goes in. All right, looks like he doesn't. I'll just keep going Cannon Cart right. Not too bad. I do have the Evo Bomber as well, which could be very sneaky, especially if this Evo Knight walks up. If this Evo Knight walks up, I could get very sneaky here. Let's just try and go for it, right? May as well. Perfect. All right, we do actually get it on tower. Evo Bomber on tower. Beautiful. Yo, look at the Evo Bomber go crazy. I just need 1 more arrows. 1 more arrows, and we win this game, guys. I'm going to go Cannon Cart high. Yeah, I'm going to block the bridge here. I can't let him get any damage. I'm back to my arrows. Arrows should do it, guys. That's a good game against a Graveyard deck. That is exactly how you play against Graveyard whenever you have Cannoneer. As long as you save your Mother Witch for the right times, let them waste their poison, and then as long as you use your spells on the Graveyard, you'll be clean chilling. In the last match of the guide here, guys, and you guys might be thinking, wait, hold on, he's not running a spell with a Cannoneer deck? And yes, this is my favorite Cannoneer deck of all time, and actually probably my favorite deck right now. It's super strong, and you have surprisingly strong swarm defense between, you have the Bomber, you have the Mother Witch, you have the Double Spirits. Double Spirits is very strong swarm, surprisingly, guys. It's very nice to have. So I love running this deck, just showing, like, you know what, it's kind of unconventional, right? Because we don't have the spell for the Cannoneer. Like, it's pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie, but it just works, guys. I love spreading this deck. It's really just, I just found it on Royal API one day, and man, I fell in love with it. It is beautiful, guys. So the way this deck works is you pump, and then you use your Bomber and you use your Spirits to get positive elixir trades. Also, guards are super strong, guys. So strong in the meta right now. Please use guards. But the reason this deck works with Cannoneer is because the Cannoneer helps take out the big units, and then the Mother Witch and the Bomber help take out the swarm. Like right here, this guy has the Royal Hogs, which overall I'd say is probably even. Like it's a mix of swarm and enough big tanks that Cannoneer does fine against it. Probably even better than the Princess Tower, to be honest. But yeah, yeah, so Royal Hogs is mostly like a wash between Cannoneer and Princess Tower, but since we have the Bomber and we have the double Spirits, we're able to have great splash against this guy right now. So let's see if we can get a lock here. Whoa, we get a lock. What is he doing? Did he already give up? No, he's waiting on his Royal Recruits. All right, I can respect that. I'll go for my Electro Spirit up high. I'm going to keep trying to protect this XBow if I can, because I feel like if we can protect the XBow, then we're going to be in great spot here. Unfortunately, the Bomber's walking away, which is definitely a problem. All right, so the only threat here is the Inferno Dragon, so I'm going to try and distract that. All right, yeah, we're good here. We're good. All right, as long as the Bomber stays alive a little bit longer. Okay, so he goes in for his Royal Hogs. Looks like he's playing Fireball bait here with the Royal Hogs and the what's it called, with the Royal Recruits. So I'm ready for that. Let's see what he has here. Doesn't have enough for recruits. He goes for his Goblin Cage. I'm fine with that. I'll try and get an Evo Bomber on tower, I feel like. Evo Bomber should be decent. Okay, we actually catch the Wizard. Hold on. He's in trouble here. We get an Evo Bomber shot on tower, too. 2 Evo Bomber shots. And the XBow locks on tower as well. All I need to do is defend now. Can we defend? That's the question right here. I'll go for my XBow on defense to pull in these Hogs. Love to see it. Cannoneer's going to clutch up. That's not going to get any damage. I'll just keep playing my Knight the back for now. Yeah, no, he's in trouble. What does he have? Like, recruits the bridge? Predict recruits the bridge or something? I don't know, man. This guy is in trouble. 15 seconds. I don't think he can break through. I'll go Mother Witch in the back. I got the Knight as well. Double Knight. He goes for the Evo Wizard, which is scary, but not with 10 seconds left behind his tower. It doesn't have time to walk up, my man, Lucario. And that is going to be a good game right there as he starts emoting, but it doesn't matter to me. We pull out the win. Let's go. And that is the end of the Cannoneer guide there. I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.